Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we get together and celebrate our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and joined with me are my usual guests. I've got Anthony.
Hello.
Got Danny.
What's up?
And over in his little corner, Zach.
Yo.
Today, guys, we kind of impromptu came up with our topic because we had some major news today. So in the realm of pop culture, TV and film, James Gunn took the opportunity to kind of give a roadmap of what Warner Brothers wants to do with all its DC properties. And boy, did we get a lot of stuff, right? I know Danny over here has like the master list and the master rundown of everything James Gunn had posted up on Twitter in his like 5-minute and change video. But we got some exciting things both on the film and TV realm.
Yeah, and we didn't even get everything that they've been planning. So we only got just some parts of what they're calling Chapter 1 of their slate.
Yeah.
Gods and Monsters.
I like that title because especially when in the past, a lot of people would look at the DC characters like that, you know, their power set or their kind of personalities. Like these characters are almost godlike, you know, in mythology and how they're able to, you know, interact with the world. And then you have the opposite other end of the spectrum, you know, considered monsters like beyond human in this like incomprehensible, scary kind of thing. That was definitely picked on purpose as a really great like establishment of this kind of like new continuity world where all this stuff exists, and people, you know, the normal everyday people are looking at gods and they're looking at monsters and trying to see what to make sense of it all. Kind of like us, the viewers.
Exactly.
It's pretty exciting. And a lot of the names that were tied into the creative process, it's been pretty exciting. Like I know Anthony took to heart a lot of the announcements they had in terms of writers or showrunners and the concepts going through. But Danny, do you want to kind of start us off on the kind of like first main big piece of news that James Gunn had mentioned concerning the movies that exist right now?
Yeah, so at least now with the DC universe, well, he kind of went through saying that some of those solo projects are going to be titled Elseworlds. So, for example, Matt Reeves' Batman, we got the Joker. I think he mentioned like Teen Titans Go, like all these other solo projects. They're going to be called Elseworlds.
So like Doom Patrol and Titans. And
Not anymore.
Well, those are getting canceled, but
well, they're not getting canceled. They're ending on a 4th season.
Yeah.
Like they were able to end on their terms with that final season. It's not like, oh no, we can't. But
yeah,
that's cool at least. Especially Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is bonkers but awesome.
yeah. And then first off, we kind of went through the 4 upcoming releases. We have Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
We have The Flash, which he just casually mentioned that it's going to reset the DC universe.
Yay. Flashpoint's gonna Flashpoint, basically.
And then we got a Blue Beetle. And
Exciting.
then lastly, ending off with Aquaman 2.
I'm still hyped for that because we get more Black Manta. That's all I want. More Black Manta.
Your boy Black Manta.
Your boy. Yeah, it's my boy. Boy's the coolest.
So then now we go into Chapter 1 for Gods and Monsters. And we're going to go in order of, like, chronological order of how he mentioned them.
Yeah.
So
Run it down.
first off, we have Creature Commandos, which is an animated show.
Random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was that was very surprising. Like he's known for picking out the deep cuts. So I thought that was really cool. You know, I don't know too much about the Creature Commandos, but it is pretty dang interesting.
So what's interesting here, I'm reading just some of the posts on them.
Rick Flag's
So
dead.
yeah, we got Rick Flag Sr.
Mm-hmm.
We got Weasel.
Yeah. That's what I thought was funny. I was like,
Still
oh, they're
alive.
bringing Weasel? Yeah, he's still alive.
If you didn't watch
Well,
the end credits,
that end credit scene.
well, not many people watched that movie.
Is it going to be
according
Sean
the
Gunn
money.
again?
Yes.
because they
Yeah,
all
why
streamed
not?
it. They were watching it on streaming.
No, people. Not that many people watched it.
But it's a 7-episode animated show written by James Gunn, and it shows Amanda Waller again, creating a Black Ops team out of monstrous prisoners.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
another version of Suicide Squad ish.
Nice.
but with like supernatural creatures. So you have like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Weasel being, I don't know, some creepy werewolf kind of thing. It's considered a werewolf, but
By day.
you know, and then but yeah, like the person in charge of them is Rick Flag Senior.
Senior?
That's can they get Joel Kinnaman back?
I'm
No,
sure they could.
Just age Joel
just age him
Kinnaman.
up.
Well, I mean, it's animated, but if they ever have them in the live action, they kind of he alluded to, hey, these characters, even if they're in the games or live action, they're transferable to from all different
Like
mediums.
like
So-
they'll trade off between or transfer over to
And-
each different kind of media.
And he said that he would like to try his best to get the same actors do the voices in the animations and also be the actors if they were in live action. So
That
we'll
seems
see
pretty
if he can do that. But yeah, that would be cool. The cohesion between all the media.
But then like the likeliness has to be pretty consistent across the board because if you create like an animated character looking one way, but then the actor or actress doesn't look like
right, I'm
animated
pretty sure
character.
they would know.
Yeah.
yeah.
And out of all those characters, the only probably humanoid would be Rick Flag Senior. So I'm assuming if they do end up hiring
Yeah.
Joel Kinnaman to do the voice, that they would draw it like him and then make him look old.
Yeah.
So, which
I mean-
it would be cool to have him back.
Yeah. Joel Kinnaman's too cool. But they can do it. Like part of the whole casting process is going to be they have to then see if you can deliver any type of voice acting or voiceover work, and then have to then be able to physically act if should these creature commandos ever show up somewhere, which I think they would end up showing up in another show that was announced that we'll get to later. But so far, like it's an interesting concept. It'll be maybe a mix of like Hellboy and like a Justice League Dark kind of thing, and then of course like a bit of Suicide Squad put in there too.
And did he say that the season would be 7 episodes, or did he just say he wrote 7 episodes?
I believe he said the season was 7 episodes.
Okay, so then
And he
James
wrote
Gunn
all
wrote
7
all
episodes.
7. So
That guy's man's
It's-
busy.
it's very likely that this was something he was already working on before he got hired. And then
And
it
was
was just
just kinda
like,
put it
hey, let me
together.
add this to my new
Slate.
slate. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe when like after the initial like the initial firing after Guardians 2, he's like, well, I'm gonna start making this stuff and then
Yeah.
make the Suicide Squad, and then it was, oh wait, no, come back. It's like, okay, cool. And he finishes up his stuff there.
Very strange, at least to me, that this was the first thing that he announced.
Yeah, it was
Even
like
though
an animated.
Even though I'm pretty sure it's date wise, it's probably the first thing that's gonna come out. It's just strange that Batman or Superman isn't the first thing that you announce in his video. But
I think also maybe to like save up hype, I guess. But
Yeah,
it
start
is
off
chronological order, so I guess they were
yeah,
starting
it
off with
wasn't
this.
really
This
by
was
hype
almost
level.
done.
It was just like chronological.
Yeah, like start off like okay, like chronological, but also like I think it's a great way to start the hype. Like, wait, creature command, what the heck? Okay, like he's starting with some weird deep cuts. Okay, and then we start building up to some of the big stuff.
Mhm.
Because I think real quick though, because did they ever give release dates for anything but Superman?
No,
No
I don't
release
believe
dates.
so. No,
So I think that was the only thing that ever.
I
really
read
got
I
me.
read somewhere that Creature Commandos is slated to come out next year, so it will
Okay.
be like one of the few DC projects coming out next year, along with the Joker.
I doubt any of these
Joker
will
too.
come out this year for sure.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
No,
because they
nothing
already have their
this
whole.
year. Yeah.
No.
four
these are
movies
all
this
just
year.
getting announced. So most likely, if it's a movie, that's probably why it's going to take 2 to 3 years for it to come out, because it's going to start this year. So any of these new DCU properties,
Well,
won't be
As we're getting
won't be
through
coming
it,
out for a little bit.
the first movie, which they announced a date in 2025, so just assume everything after kind of that time period, except for Creature Commanders, and the next one that we're going to talk about, which is Waller, which is the TV show starring Viola Davis.
I'm hyped. Give Viola Davis more things to do. She's too good.
And then this series will feature Team Peacemaker and will be written by Crystal Henry, who did Watchmen, and Jeremy Carver, who did Supernatural.
Nice.
Ooh,
The Watchmen
Supernatural.
TV show, right?
Nice.
That's Watchmen the TV show. That's clout even in and of itself already. Like that's definitely clout. And technically like a DC property too, so, I personally will go on the record and state that I feel like they did the Watchmen show extremely well. They tied it to the graphic novel, and added and expanded on a lot of things. What I felt was a sort of a natural conceit to it. So that's pretty awesome. Also, again, like Waller is this character that can put even a lot of these super powered people on notice. And so I think we need to be able to show more of that and give Viola Davis more of a platform to just go nuts. Let her play and have fun.
She's always been great in the movies that she's been in.
Yeah.
As Viola Davis.
And
But
I'm
I
glad
just-
she enjoys playing the character, because if she didn't, she wouldn't keep coming back. So
Yeah, and I think she said like when she did the Suicide Squad with James Gunn, like I think she was on record saying that she like enjoyed it more, like she was able to do more with it and just like liked that process better. So, as an award-winning actress, and give her a vehicle and platform to have playtime. Hopefully, was it how many episodes?
It doesn't say.
Didn't say, right? So hopefully at least 6 episodes of playtime. Actually, no, more than 6. Let's do 8. 8's a nice number without getting too bloated. That's hype. Nice.
yeah, that's a undisclosed time frame for that one as well.
Yeah, whenever.
But at some point, most likely within 2 years.
It'll happen. But guys, we're in 2023.
I know, it's weird.
I keep thinking we're in 2022 and like, oh, these dates, it's so far out. We're not going to get there. No, got to wait so long. It's like, oh, wait a minute. This is practically February of 2023.
Yeah,
We're already there.
still weird though, because then you're like, oh, well, Aquaman 2 comes out. And it's like 11 months. Like,
Yeah, December of this year. Why? Just give it to me now.
So I guess we'll have like 2024 for the most part will be like
like the calm before
like-
the storm.
The 2 shows.
yeah,
or,
it'll be like maybe a gap year kind of. I mean, they'll have whatever like the first show maybe by the end of the year, like November, December.
That's supposedly when Joker 2 is coming out in
Yeah.
October of 24.
because is that the only movie for 2024?
Yeah.
Wow.
Only movie, yeah. So, but then you could be these shows already going on doing it.
Yeah, so
I
there'll be
wa-
a big gap between Aquaman and the next project.
What I want to know is who's animating Creature Commandos. I don't think
I
we
don't know,
that
but
yet.
it's very possible that will probably be out earlier in the year of 2024. That way there's not such a big gap, because
Probably.
if Joker doesn't come out till October, then
Yeah.
you're like, it was almost the whole year that there is nothing of DC
Zaslav's like,
out in the
"Give us
wild.
something.
Yeah.
I need something now.
But Waller, yeah, I don't even know if Waller is gonna come out in 2024. So if it does, then you'll have animated project, Waller, and then Joker. So at least 3 DC related projects
Yeah.
in next year, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And then we got the big one. We got the announcement of Superman Legacy, which
That,
comes out July 11th, 2025.
So right in the middle of summer, 2025, they want to stake their claim right there, right on July. Not coming out in May or anything to try to like do a Memorial Day thing. Like it's just bam, middle
Or
of
even
July.
just the week before for 4th of July, because Superman is
America.
Truth, justice, the American
America.
way.
Yep.
You know,
That
Um,
would make sense, but maybe Independence Day 3 is coming out at that time. I don't know.
sure. Ask Roland Emmerich.
Who
So
knows?
yeah, I'm personally way too very excited about this one because like I know James Gunn is personally writing it. I want to see more of. I mean, think based off his description, I think he's
He
going.
gets it.
Yeah, it seems like he might get it. Now, not that like other iterations don't get it, but they're trying to go to this too much of this I always stand on the record saying like I don't like first like oh well initially established Superman, but no, we're gonna go ahead and just now deconstruct it and kind of have this stuff and kind of like uh sort of tear it down because it's too cynical or too much of a this kind of a Boy Scout character doesn't exist. But I think they're cementing that because he even said it that like you have a lot of these people that are in the gray in between, but Superman is going to be that type of fixture of just like, hey, this is the ideal, this is the inspiration for everyone, and so that's the Superman I like a lot. So hopefully he'll be I think he'll be really good at mixing some of like the grounded stuff with the hey, I can lift half a mountain or something like that. That's just me, but I don't know what you guys think about his what he mentioned about Superman. You know, the fact that like he's so confident that hey, we have a date for it already, so that's pretty exciting.
I think there was a quote somewhere where it said like, he's defines kindness when humanity around him doesn't have kindness. So
Yeah.
like they're building that world where I think he's gonna stand out with
I
that.
have it here. I found it.
Ooh,
I found
Anthony's
it.
got it. Hit us.
He is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the American way. He is kindness in a world that thinks of kindness as old-fashioned.
That was the quote from the
Nice.
video, and I like that. He is kindness in a world where I think kindness is old fashioned.
From Variety, article in Variety.
It's a Variety article
Yeah.
that from his words himself. Yeah,
Well,
right?
because on Monday, they did like their own presentation to the press.
Yep.
Aside from that video, so a lot of these articles that came out today have slightly more different, slightly more information than the 5-6 minute video that he came out with. But yeah, pretty cool. I mean, good thing they're making a new Superman. I'm excited for that.
I wonder
Yeah.
who they would put as the first villain. That'd be interesting.
Mm.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll introduce like your basic characters, maybe like a younger Lex Luthor, younger Lois Lane, those kinds of characters, and then whoever the villain ends up being. I'm
Baby
sure-
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, I know they kept emphasizing they're getting younger, and that's why they said they didn't bring back Henry Cavill because they wanted it younger. I just wonder how young are they looking for?
Not Tom
20-year-old?
Holland. Not high school Superman.
Well, Tom
Maybe
Holland
like-
in real
like,
life is like 25, 20 something.
Maybe the later seasons of Smallville kind of age,
if I were to
like
take an
20s.
yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna take an
25,
educated guess.
28?
His mid to late 20s,
Okay.
like mid 20s is where he's really like, okay, let's figure this out, and he's starting from the ground up, and then he starts realizing, oh, this is tricky, this is hard, and then do I have to hold true despite everything telling me not? But anyway, Danny,
Yeah, it'll be cool. I mean, they didn't say who's directing it yet, but
I'm-
most likely it will be Gunn. I think.
Yeah, it
I
has
think
to
he'll
be
just
James
say
Gunn.
Yeah,
this is
'cause,
the
I mean,
first
he's
movie.
already writing it,
Yeah, I think.
so most likely he'll probably jump in as director.
I think even in the meeting that they had, Saffron was kind of saying like, "Oh, maybe we can convince him to do it," and he didn't say anything.
and he's
so.
just like,
I mean, to start
I'm
off-
busy.
To start off this like universe, new DC.
Yeah, it would make
like,
sense.
You're writing it, you're planning this whole thing. Do the first one,
you're
Yeah.
starting off the tentpole of like the big DC trinity of the whole Justice League. So it'd be at one end it'd be nice to see him do it. At the other end, I think I can understand why he wants to kind of tie away from it because there may be a certain style that's associated to him from his directing, but with writing, it's already subverting what we kind of know about James Gunn. Like so, it's pretty interesting. I think by the middle of this year we should maybe late summer, early fall, we should get news on things like directing and casting but
Yeah.
hopefully just enough to get excited, but not too much to like give us an overarching plan of what's going on because
It would
I
have
don't want to
be
be spoiled.
It would have to be pretty soon because July 11th is 2.5 years away.
Probably in the Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Or
that's
something
probably
big
exactly. That's
announcement
probably
this year.
exactly when. That would be Comic-Con's in July, so it'd be the 2-year mark, and by then they'd probably already started filming.
And then they'll have him out there.
So,
Well, they have him filming, then that means that it'll already probably leak who's there. 'Cause those kind of secrets don't stay
Uh,
hidden.
I'm just
too long.
assuming they would need, at least 2 years to make that movie. So
Yeah.
um,
No, they need
those
it.
decisions need to be made quick.
They need to
He
start.
also needs to finish it
now.
because he said he's not done writing it. So write them scripts.
Write them scripts, sir.
All right. And then moving on to the next one, which this one's my most excited project that was announced. It's the Lanterns TV show.
Yeah.
Yes.
coming to
Yeah, buddy.
HBO Max.
I mean, I can't remember how long they've been talking about trying to get a movie going, and then
For a long
it wasn't a movie, then it turned into a TV show, and then it was
Procedural cop show, but with
Mhm.
Green Lantern. So
and it was like completely removed, and then now they're bringing it back finally, and we won't get it for maybe at most 3 years.
Yeah.
Still, but
But we get both Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan.
my thing is, you're gonna have to, at least from like storytelling, that's great. Hal and Jon Stewart, awesome, good pairing right there. Like I know some people who are really big fans, like Kyle Rayner as a Green Lantern. Throw in, maybe he said there may be other people in there, so you might see a Guy Gardner,
Jessica
Probably.
Cruz.
a Kilowog. That'd be pretty dope. Simon Baz, the Cruz girl that just recently
Jessica
is out there.
Cruz.
Yeah, Jessica Cruz.
I
That's
think
out
that's
there.
her name, Jessica Cruz.
Sinestro is a Yellow Lantern. I don't think they have to tease the whole slow build of that. I think that might be the whole idea of the because they talk about there's an overarching mystery or like
Mhm.
sort of like crime that reverberates to that story, but also has implications among the entire
Yeah, I mean that would be cool.
chapter continuity that they're dealing with. So it could be anything with like either fear, it could be stuff from like old Guardians that have to deal with Oa. Man, it'll be nuts. I don't know. I have theories, but this is based off of just stuff I've read before.
Maybe we get like Blackest Night stuff. That'd be pretty cool.
No, that's too soon for
It's
that.
too soon. Damn.
Ooh.
We're too soon.
That's year 5, man. That's
Yeah,
right
that's
down
like
the
chapter 5. Remember, like DC has all these crazy has had all these crazy events. That's like, hey, we're gonna start off chapter 1 and then go into like Dark Knight's Metal or something. That's
Yeah.
too nuts.
They specifically labeled this as a true detective
Yeah.
type show in space.
Just
Seems pretty cool.
I don't know if you're just gonna have like Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey yell at each other in a car the whole time.
It's but this is a show, right? On
Yeah.
HBO.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How many episodes? Or didn't, they
doesn't
didn't really
say.
say.
I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
for like pretty much everything, they haven't really said.
Isn't it gonna have to be expensive?
That show, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
that,
it's gonna be
the constructs they have to make out of their
This
their
has to be
rings,
like their
CGI
big budget.
heavy.
that's
show.
the big
It's
budget.
gonna be
show.
CGI.
It's gonna be a 6-episode,
30-minute.
8 episodes tops.
30
And, like,
million,
32
$30
minutes.
million dollar budget every hour.
Hey, if Lord of the Rings could do it, if Rings of Power could do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Look,
that's
all
what,
I need.
That's what you need to do to pull off.
Well,
a
Amazon
good-looking
Amazon
lantern
has billions of dollars.
show. Warner Brothers does
Warner
not.
does not.
Warner does not.
Warner Discovery definitely does not. That's absolutely true. Look, all I need is there need to be Red Lanterns and Dexstar and Atrocitus need to be there. But more importantly, Dexstar, that cat with so much rage in its heart that it got a red lantern or red ring. DC Comics are weird, but also awesome. I'm very excited for that. I want to see. It'll be cool to see the dynamic, what the uniforms will look like. A lot of us are still traumatized by the full CG-ness of Ryan Reynolds doing had to do his thing there. So I think they're gonna try to for sure probably make that more practical in terms of a suit or that goes on there and make all the effects happen with the rings. Because then you have to
Pretty
explain
cool.
what the hell the rings do, and like, the fact that these guys are already established lanterns. There's some work. Better minds than me will have to figure that out, right?
Yep. One ring to rule them all.
Too many rings with willpower.
Just one.
All right. So next we got a movie called The Authority.
That's wild that it's a movie and not a TV show. Do you guys know what that is? Do you guys know who
No.
the
Nope.
Authority are?
I've actually never heard.
Okay, so the only reason I know about the Authority is because there's one guy. It's basically like some of the characters are like weird pastiches of people like a Superman or a Batman. So there's one guy on there called Midnighter who basically acts like Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. movies, where he can kind of plan people's attacks and people's like moves ahead of time. Like he's very super brilliant, but the main thing is that like James Gunn said, like this is the team that just kind of like is gonna do whatever is necessary to do the right thing. So he already has sort of experience with that with Peacemaker, but I don't know if I forgot I don't think he's writing this, but it's still a very similar concept. And I find it very interesting that they're gonna bring a movie about the Authority when you're gonna start also with like, the other end of the spectrum. You're gonna have someone like Superman, and you have people like the Authority who are like, oh yeah, we're good, but we're just gonna do it our way. And whether if it's casualties, ethics, morals, be damned. So that's gonna be an interesting
For
way
the
to
greater
try to
good, right?
the
The
greater
greater
good.
good.
Uh, Interesting to see how that gets balanced in there, especially since that team, not that they're psychos, but like that team is like kind of like power set is kind of overpowered. So then that comes up to a point where like, how are you gonna have people like who are you gonna throw up? Who are you gonna throw against them to kind of establish themselves as like, hey, we are the Authority, and like, are there gonna be like an overarching, kind of like bad guys, so that then this like nascent Justice League has to fight them, and then it's like, hey guys, there's a better way.
Possibly.
Mm.
The way it
Possibly.
was described, because I wasn't familiar with any of these, like it gave me the boys vibes.
It's kind of
But
like they're kind of like the boys, yeah, except they have the set powers. Like there's a chick that's basically like Hawk Girl. There's another girl who like can create and do stuff with electricity. There's a guy who's like bioengineered to be like Superman esque, and then the Midnighter is kind of like it's just neurologically enhanced to be more of a brilliant, super ultra genius and inventor and all that kind of stuff and fighter. And there's a couple other characters in there, so it's gonna be weird to see them kind of like it'll probably they may establish them as sort of like a weird like anti Justice League in the beginning, and then it's like, no, we're gonna take them out. But then, it's very interesting to see what's gonna happen.
just curious to see that like a group team up almost in a movie so soon. So it'll be cool to see.
So soon, yeah. But I mean, it worked with something like Guardians, right?
Yeah.
So there's established, precedent, so to speak. But yeah, no date on that or anything yet, if
No.
I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
All of these that he announced today, he said these are part of chapter 1. He didn't say this is all of chapter
Part
1.
Yeah.
of-
And I supposedly these are all coming out within the next like 3 or 4 years. I think he said up till 2027,
7. Dang.
Wow.
unless anything gets delayed. But he says as of now,
That's
all
wild.
of these projects are coming out spread out through 2027.
That's
Plus
wild.
maybe some other surprise ones that were not announced.
Right.
Maybe shuffled in somewhere.
Yeah, like maybe they come up with something last minute and then say, okay, let's throw this in there. During this, first part of this phase, just because,
Yeah. You can compare it to the phases from Marvel. So instead of calling it phase 1, it's chapter 1, and this is a part of it. So he's kind of doing it like the phases now, where it seems like each phase in Marvel now is going to be like 2 or 3 years worth of material, and then end it with a bang. So I'm sure the end of chapter 1 will be maybe
Some big event.
2029 or something like that, with a huge movie at the end. So maybe that'll be when the Justice League movie is. So we'll see. But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That'll probably be.
Especially since he already announced that the first main movie, which is the Superman movie, is in 2025. So it just means in
So we're
2
looking at-
years.
yeah.
In 2 years, he'll have how many movies did he announce today?
5.
So 5
So
movies.
5
within
movies and
2
5
years.
shows were announced today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're looking at late 2024, the earliest, and then possibly into 2027
Mm-hmm.
for this part. Like maybe
Yeah.
mid 2027 at the latest.
Nuts.
And we still have maybe another, like you said, like another year and a half probably of other stuff.
That's pretty wild. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it's what we call an aggressive timeline. But I think you can do it. Yeah, I have faith. I'm optimistic. I mean, what else can we be at this point? It's yeah. Anyway,
At least there's some planning and structure
Right.
going on.
yeah, and it's what a
That's-
lot of people have been wanting.
That's what the problem was before. That it was just like some of these get some planning, and then these just there is no planning.
That sounds good. It's like somebody convinced one dude that was just high on something, and it's just like, all right, yeah, let's do it. Oh wait, what? And then,
And
actually, I don't want that. And then
Yeah,
they just
and
cancel.
the one guy that had a plan, they're like, "Oh, after that second one, we don't like your plan anymore." So it's like, okay, that's weird.
Yeah, you should have probably saw the plan from the beginning and make a decision. And all this other stuff. Anyway, um, hit us with the next one, Danny.
So the next one is another TV show, and it's called Paradise Lost.
I'm hyped for this.
Lost.
Not the novel.
So-
that's very famous.
I like how they kind of described it as a political intrigue, and kind of compared it to Game of Thrones with Westeros.
Yeah,
So
Coming up with HBO shows for comparison.
pretty interesting.
yeah. A comparison that Zach knows nothing about
Nope.
every time.
So are you gonna watch it before this show comes out?
Eventually.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because think about it. If you're
By,
gonna
by
have
that
time.
point, Hot D season 2 will probably be out.
for sure, it'll be out. But that gets you thinking. If they're gonna have that as inspiration, that's how the Themyscirans set up Paradise Island. Do you think there'll be any interactions with the other Greek gods?
Probably.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
like to see
especially-
more of like their Greek, their Greek.
pantheon.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be for this chapter to be called Gods and Monsters, and think that's what they're alluding to.
Yeah, and then have
other
literal-
than like the big heroes with godlike powers, like
The
Yeah.
old gods.
the old
yeah.
gods and
But this is, I think you
'Cause-
mentioned it was like almost like a prequel kind of, like
Yeah,
it's
it's
before,
before Wonder
Wonder,
Woman.
Woman was
Yeah.
born.
But will Wonder Woman? Oh, before she was born.
yeah,
Okay,
Yes.
because she's like
maybe not directly. It could
she's
be
like
Yeah.
100 years before she
100
was born.
years old,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because I mean, because she is the daughter of Zeus, and you also have Aquaman, who's like a descendant of Poseidon and stuff, which is a different thing. But I think right. That's
Is she a daughter of Zeus? I thought she was a daughter of another god.
no, she's a daughter
No,
of
it's
Zeus.
Zeus.
Mm.
Yeah, it was Zeus.
Mm.
Because originally, like there was an older continuity where she was formed based off of a rock or something.
Clay.
That was or clay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the thing that
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what I think it was an Hippolyta like was mentioned that
Mhm.
that she was like, oh yeah, like
Wasn't she formed by Ares? Something along those lines.
no, it's Zeus. Like, she was the daughter of Zeus.
Okay, cool.
Well, Ares was the
Ares is a
in
villain of
movie.
the Wonder Woman.
Right, right. I'm getting confused. With God of War and all this stuff.
Yeah, it's like yeah, Wonder Woman isn't in Greek mythology.
She is. I heard she was in God of War Ragnarok. Spoilers. I haven't played it yet though.
Absolutely not. Yeah, just absolutely not.
That
sir.
should be a DLC skin that you could just put on Kratos. You're just Wonder Woman.
puts on this Wonder Woman, and then he does the spin.
And then the Leviathan is actually the lasso of truth.
More.
So this show won't have Wonder Woman.
Correct.
No,
He
So
will not be born.
unless
Yet.
they have multiple seasons, and then she'll be born, or she'll be born at the end
Well-
of the season, possibly,
the reason why I say that is because we'll have Superman, we'll have Batman,
but not her.
but then we won't have Wonder Woman.
yeah, it's kind of messed up. She
So
got
we don't have
sidelined.
like the
Unless
Holy
like maybe
Trinity.
it ends with like
yeah,
her being born and like kind of.
and then she shows up in one of these other movies. Hey, I'm now 100 years old.
Is she with you?
Yeah.
Does she with you?
Yeah, she would not thought she was you.
All right, and then
Oh,
now we
won't
go
get
on
that
to the
music
next
I
project.
think like, they could keep that. That's
the music?
yeah. Why not?
No,
I mean,
they're rebooting it. Why would they keep the music?
They own the rights to it. They can do that. Why would they? Why
they're
would
not
they?
gonna. They're not gonna keep like the Man of Steel music. I
No,
highly
but
doubt
they'll
it.
keep they kept the John Williams one. If that theme is iconic, like is like associated now with Wonder Woman, they're like, all right, do it.
I don't know. We'll see.
It depends on who they get as a composer. If they get someone like Bear McCreary or something for Paradise Lost, then
He'll
things
just
will change.
use
But they
a lot of
haven't
drums.
said if like Gal was keeping her role
No,
to be.
they
No.
haven't said anything.
They haven't said
The-
anything.
all they said was that Wonder
Assume
Woman
yes.
3 is on hold. I'm not gonna assume that she's coming back.
I don't know.
I mean,
Could you
apparently
imagine-
she's-
Could you imagine if she's back and then Momoa's still Aquaman and the only person that's not back are Ben Affleck and
Yeah, I
But-
could see that.
Henry
I can see
Cavill?
that.
But there was
Why not?
something that I
don't know,
saw
it's
earlier
strange.
today
Not
that
strange to me.
Why
that
not?
Because stuff happens. I suppose. I don't know.
there was something from earlier today on Instagram that I saw that James Gunn had confirmed that Jason isn't playing two characters like everyone's speculating, oh, Aquaman and
Yeah.
Lobo or something. But
Mhm.
Mm.
he just didn't say who he was playing.
yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
And then I saw like something posted on Instagram that Wonder Woman and General Zod are going to be in the Flash. But
Mm.
don't know if that was
Like-
official
well,
or not. But
Like Michael Shannon's on.
Yes.
yeah,
That's I've heard from like for years.
yeah. So that's
But
very interesting to
the
see.
Wonder Woman thing is that was a rumored reshoot that they did before James Gunn got hired.
Mm.
That apparently Wonder Woman shot scenes for the Flash, and then remember when Momoa posted pictures of him and Ben Affleck?
Yep.
Because Ben Affleck supposedly shot scenes for Aquaman. A
That's
lot of
right.
people are thinking now that those scenes may not be in those movies anymore.
There's a good
Because
chance they won't be.
they may have removed them because that's no longer part of the plan now, because those were decisions made before the new
Yeah,
hiring.
because The Flash comes out and then we still have 2 more movies after
yeah,
that are
it's
part
weird.
of the current slate.
Right, but what if the 2 movies after are part of the new slate?
I mean, they planned, I guess, to reset the Flash. Like the Flash would reset it. So Blue Beetle could easily be on its own.
Yeah, because that's a brand new movie.
But Aquaman 2, like unless it's already set in this new on its own, like nothing compared to the first one. But
Or
I don't
they could do Aquaman 2 like as they made it, and then a post credit scene could be like something flashed, and then now something changed, and then that could be the end of the movie.
And then Michael Keaton shows up in a suit.
I'm Batman.
No, and he says, Michael Morbius.
I'm Beetlejuice.
The worst post-credit scene of all time.
Jack Frost. Oh man,
Birdman.
dude, that post credit scene is terrible.
Morbius is really morbid there. God, that's so bad.
I feel like they got him for like an hour, and they said, "Okay, we need you to say these lines."
All right, again. All right, again.
All right, we're good.
Can you make
We're
it
good.
worse? Okay, thanks. God,
Man, it was so
the
bad.
worst. All right, Danny. Hit us with the next one.
all right, so the next one we got the introduction of the Batman into this DC universe.
Yep.
An established Batman, right?
Yeah, with the Brave and the Bold.
That's a very telling subtitle that they picked for that. The Brave and the Bold.
I mean, it's better than just saying the Batman again.
Well, they already have that.
Yeah, like they already have the Batman or like any other
Like,
iteration
yeah,
of it.
just
But
Batman or
The Caped Crusader.
Will it be Batman the Brave and the Bold or just the Brave and the Bold?
I don't know.
I think
Probably
it's, I think
Batman.
he just James Gunn said it as the Brave and the Bold.
Okay. I hope it's kind of like that. Just so it doesn't.
So it's not like the animated
You could-
series that came out a few years ago.
Maybe it is, and they're gonna get
the
Dietrich
comedy
Bader
version?
to be Batman,
Also, I think that's
voice
the,
of Dietrich Bader.
That's the 3rd movie that won't have Batman in the title ever made.
ooh.
If
The
if
first,
they don't put
the
it
first 2 were Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm assuming they won't put Batman at the beginning. Of
Batman colon.
But
you gotta finish it because then it's just like he's having surgery or something.
Oscopy.
they did mention that we're gonna get an introduction to the Bat family, which finally
Who's in the Bat
we
family?
get Damian Wayne.
Nice.
Yeah. But then we're also gonna have. That means
Bat
forgetting
family could mean a lot of things.
No, for sure. Like more
mean
than just
Alfred.
Damian Wayne.
Yeah, because I'm sure at this point, like Dick Grayson will be Nightwing.
Maybe.
Uh,
Will he? That's the thing.
Jason Todd will be dead.
The thing is, how old will
Dead
this Batman
or Red
be?
Hood.
Because they said they were going for a young Superman. How old do they want this Batman if he's gonna be with the Superman?
Yeah, because
Maybe he's mid-30s. Competent.
So if he's mid
Maybe.
30s, so let's say he's 36.
it
He
depends on
had
the
a-
actor. they
When
get,
he had
too.
a kid when 18, 20,
Maybe he didn't know.
and
Like,
he's 15 now. Damien's 15.
yeah,
I mean,
or no, maybe
yeah.
Damien's 12. Maybe he's 11.
Mm,
He's like just enough
We-
to be a snotty brat, but also a
Like-
world-class assassin.
he's Hit Boy.
a little assassin.
Hit Boy.
Yeah. Little
Because
assassin.
Damian Wayne is what, like the 4th Robin
Yeah.
Yes.
after Grayson, Todd, and Drake.
I mean, technically, like, there's more because there's Carrie Kelly if you
Mhm.
count the
There's-
Dark Knight Returns.
And there's the other girl too. I forget her name.
Something with an S.
Like,
I'm-
is it not Stephanie or
It is. I think it's Stephanie. something.
I don't remember.
And there could be Batgirl, Batwoman.
Stephanie Brown.
It
Good
was
job.
Stephanie Brown. Yeah.
Good job, kid.
You see, this brain isn't useless.
Oh my god.
Who
Yeah,
said it was useless?
It wasn't.
Damn,
We
man.
never said it was
Dang.
useless. But
It's funny
Yeah.
because I know like the least about DC, yet I just somehow can whip out these names left and right. But yeah, Stephanie. Yeah, Stephanie. You said Brown, right? Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
was. I think she was like the 5th Robin that took on the moniker Robin.
yeah, she was first spoiler, and then they brought her into that. So who knows? I think they
Yeah.
might go ahead and do that. Put her initially there, spoiler. But
And then with Damian Wayne, I'm more familiar with Damian Wayne because of Injustice,
Mm.
where he plays like a version of Nightwing.
And I'm more
In a
you're
red
familiar.
suit.
talking about Injustice 2.
He's in
No, Injustice 1.
No, he's he's an actual there's an actual playable Robin character in part 2, and that's
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, because I don't know if it's just a skin. I mean, because I'm referring to at least the mobile game, where the version of there's a version of Nightwing that's Damian Wayne Nightwing, well, yeah, because he has like a red and black suit, long hair, and he has the
oh yeah,
Eskrima
because
sticks.
there's also a normal Dick Grayson main
Yeah.
version. It's just in the other universe. Anyway,
yeah, and like that alternate.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
So-
cool character.
So yeah, so if
It's fun.
if they're gonna do all that, like let's say
That kid's
Dick
14,
Grayson,
13.
yeah, let's say
Yeah.
Dick Grayson is Nightwing in this movie. How old is Nightwing gonna be? 20?
Probably, yeah, in his
20
20s,
something?
Probably.
At this point, yeah, because if he adopted Nightwing
The Dark.
and
You only
he was
adopt
born in
the
it.
dark.
molded by it. Yeah, that's a weird. That's a fun speculation.
Interesting. Yeah.
And
Yeah, if Batman was started in his late 20s and they're like, oh snap, this kid Dick Grayson had his family killed by mobsters. Let me look out for him. And then, that kid's 15 or something like that. And then by his 20s, late 30s into early 20s, that's hey, I'm gonna break out, go to Bloodhaven, be Nightwing, do my own thing. And then, oh snap, I had a kid I never knew about. And then Talia al Ghul just dumps him.
yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna get maybe references to Talia
And the
and
League of Shadows.
yeah,
Ra's
and
al
Ra's
Ghul.
al Ghul. Ooh.
Ra's al Ghul, whatever. I want to see what pronunciation they go
Raish.
with.
Well, the correct is Rage. It was Batman Begins that changed it to Ra's.
I've heard Ra's in other places before Batman Begins.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard them both. But I
now-
know, but from the animated series, it was Rage. So that's how I
Yeah.
first heard it.
And then even in Arrow, it's Ra's al
R.I.P.
Ghul.
Kevin Conroy.
Yeah, R.I.P. Kevin Conroy.
But the only I know Damian Wayne from the animated movies, not so much the comics. So they made a whole run, I think 5 or 6 movies, maybe even more, with when they introduced Damian Wayne, and then pretty much all the other following Batman animated movies had Damian Wayne in it. So I think it would be cool. Some of those were fun. There was ones where it was just I think it was the Bat family, it was everyone else but Batman that had to fight the bad guys. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But-
well, there was a Death in the Family.
Yeah, I think it
with
was that
film,
one. I think
animated
it was that
film,
one.
or was it a comic?
Was it Death in the Family or Death of the Family?
or Death of the Family?
There's
sorry.
2. Yeah, I remember I read the Death of the Family comic. That was nuts.
There's one called Batman Bad Blood. I think there was one called that.
That's the one with Batwoman.
Yeah.
Damian, Talia. Yeah, that's a whole bunch of stuff. Point is, Damian Wayne in live action is gonna be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, just think of Hit Girl from Kick Ass, but a boy version.
But Robin and
Probably crazier because he was taught by the League of Assassins.
and then you have Batman just calm down, kid. Just basically always trying to tell this kid no killing. Is but
He's but he was
I'm
trying
an
to
murder.
assassin.
yeah, he's trying to murder people. He's but I only know murder. It's you need to learn not murder.
He's Ja Rule. What is it?
Murder. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, it's exciting. I can't wait. I want to see the casting and the writing for that is going to be interesting. I think they mentioned what Tom King may or be writing that. It's based off
Possible.
of his run.
Very possible.
I think it's based off of
It wouldn't make sense.
yeah, or is it Morrison? I forget. Anyway,
It'd be interesting to see who's the next Batman.
the
I don't know, but-
next
I
Batman.
mean,
Yeah.
it could
Well, we
It could
still
be
have
someone-
another Batman.
it could be someone the same age as Pattinson. Because if they're going for that age, Pattinson's in his 30s. So,
Yeah,
but it's not going to be Pattinson.
he's doing his own thing,
Yeah.
his own Nirvana thing.
So next up, we got another live action series for Booster Gold.
This is gonna be fun.
But it's a show.
It's
It's
a
an
show.
HBO
Yeah.
Max show.
It's gonna be fun, but it probably has the ability to be really messed up too. There's some very interesting Booster Gold stories of things where like like they basically described it as like the ultimate version of imposter syndrome, or just like hey, I'm from the future, which it's wild that they're already bringing in more time travel into this chapter one. It's just like I'm from the future. I kind of know what happens, but then you get to see like how this character interacts with stuff that should already happen, and is it a case where he's just gonna want to change stuff, or play fast and loose with timelines?
Also curious on casting.
Yeah, because you need someone charismatic, but also like is like a doofus.
Chris Pratt.
Too old?
Might be a little old. Might be able to do it.
That's true. How old is Booster Gold normally?
Well, if they're gonna want him to be in the
mid to late 30s, I think. Like
'Cause
he's like
Chris Pratt.
an adult man.
Well, it's Chris
Yeah.
Pratt. He's
That
not.
Chris Pratt is in his mid 40s.
Like,
already.
No, he's not.
like he has a similar the character
might
has a
be
similar
40
build to like
or
a
39
Superman
or something like
character
that.
or something.
I saw some
If he's mid 40s, then I don't think
rumors
so.
on
He
Reddit
is
or
43,
casting
I think.
for Glenn Powell.
Glenn
Yeah,
Powell
that-
could totally be Booster Gold.
That could be.
That's
it.
your boy Hangman. That works. That absolutely works.
It
That's
works.
the dream
but
casting.
would that be a character that he would want to do?
I think so. I think it. I mean,
Because it would also be a TV show, so maybe he wants like a more higher profile.
But I mean,
higher
they're
profile
gonna
character.
go from TV show to animated.
They'll-
Yeah,
they'll
but
hop
Booster
around.
Gold, like how important do you think Booster Gold will be in some of these bigger movies?
I think he has a.
I mean, maybe
I think
drop
he
him
hangs out
like
with
a-
Blue Beetle. He hangs out with Blue Beetle a lot.
And Blue Beetle's getting a movie, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, but you're getting a whole like canvas to do stuff. It's kind of like how John Cena got a whole canvas to do stuff. In
so do you
Peacemaker.
see Glenn Powell hanging out with the kid from Cobra Kai?
Yes,
Okay.
I see that. Then again, it was Ted Cord that he hung out with, so maybe it'll
Right.
be more like whoever they get for they talk about Ted Cord in the movie, then they bring him in for like random misadventures. But
So how old is Chris Pratt?
hold on,
IMDb.
I already know that. Hold on,
The IMDb.
he's 43.
Nice.
Told you, he's higher than that.
All right.
Because I think with like Booster Gold's physique, he's more on like a Shazam or Superman kind of build.
Stockier.
I think. So
Hmm.
I don't know if they would lean more towards casting someone that has a similar build to someone like I
Ethan
don't know,
Soup.
like a Henry Cavill or a. Is Zachary Levi like? Is he actually like, or is it more like
he
some
got
padding and-
buff?
He got buff, but it's
but
also a muscle suit.
Yeah,
yeah.
those aren't his complete muscles.
Yeah. But
Complete
also,
muscles.
like it makes sense.
What about Ethan Suplee?
Ethan?
He's big now, man.
Suplee?
Like Jack
He's,
Big,
he's
not
jacked big.
yeah,
Him as Booster Gold?
yeah, man.
I don't know about that, Chief.
You don't know, man.
No, I don't know about that.
Because now that he got that big, like he's only getting hired to be like to play like roles that are people in the army.
Massive
So it's like-
people. He's only
He's
40
a he's a
only
character
46
actor.
years old.
Yeah, he's not that old,
Yeah, he's
and you know he could play
large
Goofy.
and in
He could
charge.
definitely play Goofy.
No, well, that's you need a voice for that. I'm kidding. Bad joke.
Oh,
All right, and then next film we got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
but not today.
Not today.
The Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, because Superman is usually known as the Man of Tomorrow. So this one may seem to be more of like the crazy or like the heavy serious stuff of just like if we talk about Superman and belonging, then it's like Supergirl and really other like dealing with someone being the last person there. Maybe you have the person who played Superman as like now a little bit more established and is able to act as like a mentor, or they do the thing where what was the animated movie where they had Batman and Superman fighting Darkseid?
Public Enemies.
No, they fought Darkseid because Supergirl landed,
Mm.
and that's the one that Andre Braugher played Darkseid, and he whooped Superman in a cornfield.
Don't remember the name.
Kind of amazing.
It's not called like Apocalypse or anything.
No,
think-
No.
I think it wasn't. It might have been Apocalypse actually. Yeah, I think it might actually been
I
Apocalypse.
don't think so.
Well, this one is based off a comic run
Yeah,
or a recent comic run.
which I think is cool. Like it's you have good stories, and hey, adapt those good stories. Like there's so much that they mined that they had they either they had misfires or they didn't execute or they had great stories in front of them and didn't get it. Like I've been on the record for years that like the Batman Superman movie should have been like an animated version of the world's finest like animated TV movie that aired
So
in the
good.
90s.
So good.
It had Lex Luthor and the Joker. It
So
had
good.
reasons that they both had to crisscross. They had
Applesauce.
a really cool applesauce rivalry. And at first, it was actually kind of petty too. It's great. Like I showed you guys that one clip of just of Superman.
Return of the Mac.
Yeah, just Superman, just like hey, like trying to like swat Batman away, and Batman kind of putting up a sort of fight, and Superman just immediately like, who the hell are you? He uses X-ray vision, and just immediately outs Batman. He's like, oh really? Okay. And then Batman just tracks Superman. So he's like, aha, you're Clark Kent. Gotcha. But like it's from like a mile, like half a mile away. Like he's there with binoculars, just like, got you. Like that would have been hilarious to see in real life. And just like the implications of them dealing with, like you could have had a Harley Quinn versus Mercy Graves fight. You know, people love chick fights. That was kind of sexist. I'm sorry, but people would have found that entertaining, at least, because they both have henchwomen. Like it just and then
Go
you
watch the animated movie.
it's on
good.
HBO Max.
It's good.
It's
World's
Batman
finest.
Superman Adventures. It's so good. It's too good. But yeah, I'm excited. Do you think they'll use the same actress that's playing Supergirl
From The Flash?
from The Flash?
Melissa Benoist.
No,
No, for the-
not the
that's
show.
Flash
not
movie.
Oh, the show.
The
Oh,
Flash.
There's gonna be a
Flash
Supergirl
movie.
supposedly in The Flash.
that's right. Okay, I
Yeah,
completely forgot
that's
about
the
that.
interesting part.
Yeah.
Are they gonna use her? Or are they gonna recast her?
I don't know. How old are they? Do they want to make this Supergirl?
She's usually in her teens. She's usually in her teens. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I think the girl that they got is the right age then. So maybe it kind of fell in their lap and like, hey, well, we already hired somebody.
As a funny aside, the Flash movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on IMDb and you look at the cast, the top billed cast is Michael Shannon, or like the top billed cast is Michael Shannon.
Yeah, dude, he's in it.
That's freaking
They
hilarious.
I read that they like replay parts of Man of Steel.
Yeah, I think they do too. That's
Yeah.
why they have.
I think Fayar's in it.
Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah.
Whoop that ass. She was awesome.
Cure that ass.
Cure that ass. We're gonna cure that ass. It's Sasha Kaye. Yeah. So
Or maybe because they reset it, she's no longer there.
Set it
so
and forget it.
set it and
who
forget it.
knows?
1995.
Well,
He's
Ezra
like
Miller.
28, 27, 28.
Will Ezra Miller survive Flashpoint?
No.
If he does, I may have to question James Gunn's decision making.
Maybe
don't
it's-
think so.
Maybe it's beyond him.
Because they could
It
totally.
shouldn't,
cast-
be.
Shouldn't
It
be.
really shouldn't be.
It shouldn't
but
be. He's the
maybe
boss.
it's beyond him.
Because
He's-
I mean, they could go like a Wally West route instead of keeping a Barry Allen
I mean,
version of it.
James Gunn spoiled it. He said it's essentially a Flashpoint movie, and it's gonna reset something.
Yeah.
And so, the movie has the ability to just be like, next time you see Flash, he's different now because
And
of
obviously,
what happened, and you could just get a new actor.
there's no like Flash 2 that was announced or anything like that. So
No.
No, just this Flash movie's been
Yeah.
in the works for like 20 years.
Yeah,
I'm
18
sure-
18 years.
I'm sure we won't get anything Flash related for
A
quite
while.
some
You
time.
know, they announced this movie when the show was coming out.
2015?
When the show
Yeah.
The Flash was
Wasn't
coming
it
out.
2015 or something?
Something like that.
2013,
2014.
2014.
I think the movie was originally supposed to come out between Justice League Part 1 and what never happened Part,
Part
2.
two.
Part
Yeah.
2.
It was supposed to be in
That's what was
between there
supposed to
along with
come out.
Supposed to be
Cyborg.
him, a
It was
cyborg
supposed to
movie,
come out,
Aquaman.
but it was in planning, like I think it was in planning just as, or maybe like right when the show started.
Well, the show started
CW
in
show.
2014.
Right.
That's how
So-
long it's been.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because yeah, so since it was
Almost as long as Black Adam.
because since it was supposed to come out in like 2016,
2014, guys.
2017,
2014.
and now 6 years later, it's finally
They went through like I don't know how many directors. They kept saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
this director dropped out. This director dropped out. The
Everything
writer dropped out."
and then there was supposed to be a Cyborg movie that came out. That was supposed to come out after Justice League Part 2,
hmm
which was like 2018, I think.
Which they can
Brivity
because
scrapped.
they had issues with Cyborg.
Well, yeah, that previous management had issues with
Yeah.
Cyborg.
Yeah, and then that was also the same time that they announced the Green Lantern movie for 2019.
So many announcements.
So many, yeah,
Wasted announcements.
because they can't get their
This-
stuff
this-
together.
So now we got a plan. So hopefully none of these get canceled.
Right? We're just like, but we have a plan, guys.
All right. And then
What they need to do is have the balls to stick to the plan, because that's what
Yeah.
happened before. That even if not all the movies of Zack Snyder's plan were 100% slam dunks, you got to see it through at least to the part 2 of the Justice League, and then after that, then you kind of
Yeah, like
revisit. But they just kind of after Batman v Superman, they were like, nope, and they butchered that movie already. The theatrical version was nowhere near as good as the extended one.
yeah, and then especially because like what you're saying about like Justice League Part 2, for them to announce it, they're supposed to come out in like 3 years
Mhm.
or even less, and then just remove it completely is kind of
There was a lot of
Strange.
weird stuff
Yeah,
going
a
on.
lot of
I blame it on cocaine.
changing.
because even
My cocaine,
My cocaine.
Michael Caine.
because I don't think Marvel's ever done that. Like maybe for like maybe one project,
Mm-hmm.
but usually when they announce something, they pretty much stick to it, and it'll come out eventually. Even if
Yeah,
if it's delayed a few months, whatever, it comes out eventually. But
They have conviction. They have.
I mean, there
focus.
have been things that they haven't released, but it was like one of those that was announced like when he
Like
would announce the
Inhumans.
early state. Here's the whole slate for next 6 years.
yeah,
One of those later ones that you don't even remember. Okay, that one we took away
Yeah.
because
I think
it
like
wasn't gonna work out.
Inhumans is the
yeah,
only one
that
I
was
think
a
about.
movie.
It was a movie for 2019 or 2018. Then they converted it to a show,
Mhm.
and then that bombed.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Oof.
But I think that was the only thing that happened. But speaking of things,
Yeah.
Oh.
Good segue, Zach.
nice.
Oh.
Very nicely done.
So the last movie that
Thingway.
they announced was Swamp Thing.
A thing way.
That is Swamp Thing, dude.
Did any of you guys see the show? Swamp
The
Thing?
show's actually good.
Which one?
the
because-
most
The
recent
recent
one,
one.
not the
No.
original.
I watched the one from like the 80s or the
The-
90s.
yeah.
okay, wait.
I remember
was
that one. There was a
confused.
toy line, and it was
Yeah.
coolish.
I thought there was also like this is Marvel, but I thought there was also a Man Thing.
Man Thing is Marvel.
It's Marvel.
But no, but was it a movie or a show?
Man Thing was in
Werewolf by Night.
No, but I thought there was something from like 15 years ago, 20 years ago almost that came out. Unless that was
No, that was
no.
Swamp
That
Thing.
was a
You're thinking
Swamp
of
Thing.
Swamp Thing
Yeah, yeah.
that Anthony's
the
talking
90s.
no. I'm thinking of like 2005.
No.
No,
Wrong.
there was a Swamp Thing on the CW maybe like 5-6 years ago, maybe. But after when the first episode aired, they announced that it got canceled.
Yeah, and then they were stupid because then people realized,
Hey,
oh
this was
snap,
pretty good.
it's actually really good. It turns out, yeah, it was a it came out in 2019, and it shouldn't have been
wow,
on CW
that soon?
That soon.
Wow, or
It
that
really should not have
recent, or-
been. It really shouldn't have been on CW.
I don't know why.
But
I
it got
thought
moved
it was
to HBO Max.
Yeah.
At some point.
And then that's where people found it. I was like, hey, this is really good. And they thought, okay, let's try to go ahead and try to like revitalize this. I have an idea as to why, of all things, he's bringing back is Swamp Thing. Because I think just like the Creature Commandos, like there has to be more like the supernatural, mystical stuff.
Well, this is the monsters in terms
Yeah,
of like
the whole
gods and monsters.
Mhm.
thing. And there's this ties
he's
into things
powerful.
like, arcane magics, and there's this whole like there's these like primordial forces that the universe has. I'm gonna get real nerdy here for a second. There's this thing
okay,
called
it
Do
was
it.
Man Thing that came out 2005. That's what it was.
What?
Totally off topic, but
Wow.
it was because I knew something came out 05.
where
but it was
where did that
Man
come
Thing.
out? You've derailed me
Was it a
completely.
cartoon?
It was Man Thing. No, it's a live action movie. I think.
Was it on Sci-Fi Channel or something?
That
The
was
Sci-Fi
before.
Channel was trying to do like
that
when
was
David
before MCU.
Hasselhoff was Nick Fury, Agent of Shield.
This came out.
That was before MCU. started, so.
2005, and it came out.
5?
Uh,
05? That's when we graduated. freaking high
05?
school.
Sci-fi channel.
I told you.
Sci-fi or sci-fi? Was it sci-fi
It was
at that
sci-fi
point?
at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was sci-fi at the time. Anyway, so yeah, Swamp Thing has this whole connection to this mystical power called the Green, and there are different based off colors, like this type of like those primordial universal elements. So they might be introducing that kind of stuff, as well as trying to make something kind of horror, kind of freaky, mix it up a little bit from something that's just your standard action, your thriller. Marvel did a really good job of tying in different genres and just putting superheroes in it. So DC can do well to try to emulate that, at least in my opinion. But I'm hyped for Swamp Thing. He's a pretty cool character. More
I'm
safe.
interested.
He's,
But yeah,
I know nothing.
I remember from the shows, he's hella powerful.
he looks cool and he's crazy powerful. Yeah, and he
Get off my swamp.
no, wrong green character.
That's him.
It's Shrek thing.
Get off my swamp thing.
Get out my swamp. Oh man. Any thoughts on your end, Danny?
No, I don't know much about Swamp Thing.
Watch the CW. Watch that CW show.
Yeah.
It's not really a CW show.
I heard good things about the show.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying it was great, so
It's like season 1 of Superman and Lois is really good.
get a nice like horror vibe.
Apparently
to it.
they renewed that for I
They
think
did
another
for-
2 seasons.
At least a season 3. I didn't know it was season 4 too, but
Yeah, like they're
Tyler
keeping
Hoechlin
it.
is a really good Superman.
Like that's
good.
not a show that's being canceled because of the new stuff.
It's
They're
part of the
keeping it.
Elseworld stuff.
Yep.
Let it do its thing. I'm happy. Dude, do it. Do it. Cool, man.
I don't know
that's
if we
our-
mentioned it earlier, but
No, go ahead.
supposedly the rubric that he wants to keep is having 2 movies and 2 shows per year with the DCU, but that doesn't exclude any Elseworlds projects. So you can have, let's say, the Superman movie come out, and if that movie comes out when he says it is, that same year, the Batman 2, which is Matt Reeves' movie, which is now an Elseworlds movie, is also coming out that same year. So the Batman 2 won't be the second DC movie coming out because there could be another one. Possibly. Maybe not that year, but in the
Moving
future
forward.
years there could be 2 and then here's another
So a little
Joker
bonus.
3 or something else. I doubt there's going to be a Joker 3. but-
Bonus. You'll get a little,
Little
cherry on top with some nice, director, avant-garde driven character study of these characters.
Green
Some
Arrow.
important characters.
There's Green Arrow.
Maybe there is a Green
Dude,
Arrow.
I would love to see.
There needs to be Green Arrow.
I would
should.
love to see a Green Arrow video game because we're talking about because James Gunn mentioned something like we want to have continuity now with all these things. How like the
Yeah.
characters that are in one movie can show up in an animated TV show played by the same person,
Mm-hmm.
and vice versa. But then that now means will you have the same people in any video game properties that get thrown in there? That's gonna make
Well-
writing contracts nuts.
They're
Well,
going to do
like,
the
that's-
mocap. They have to do the mocap and all
I
that.
feel like that would be very confusing for maybe one particular character, Harley Quinn,
Mhm.
because in the games or in a lot of voice acting, it's Tara Strong.
But then
Now we have
We don't
Kaylee
know if
Cuoco,
she's the cartoon
she's
voice.
the cartoon
but
voice
we don't
of
know
the
if
actual cartoon.
they're keeping Margot Robbie. We
because
don't know.
there's also Margot Robbie.
We don't know
Exactly.
yet.
So
And
And
Lady
they
Gaga
do- Lady
is the
Gaga-
Elseworlds
the Lady
version
Gaga.
in
we're
Joker
gonna have
2.
like 4 because in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, it's Tara Strong.
Tara Strong. That they're just gonna let that rock. Like they're gonna release it
Steady.
and make it
Yeah.
happen.
And I think also Kevin and then Kevin Conroy's Batman, but that's another story.
Also, rest in peace again.
But if Tara Strong is going to continue to voice Harley Quinn in the video games, for example, and maybe some other animated stuff, I actually would prefer Tara Strong in the animated voice because she has a great voice for Harley Quinn. Like
Have you seen the Harley Quinn show?
I have not.
So
It's hilarious.
don't make that my prefer
But-
thing until you watch some of the show. You should watch some of the show.
But she's voiced by who?
Kaylee Cuoco.
I thought it was a different actress.
No,
no,
it's
it's
Kaylee Cuoco.
It's Kaylee Cuoco. She's really good.
That show's hilarious.
Well, I know because
Ron Funches as King Shark is great.
in
I didn't think I'd like that as much. That and Kite Man is awesome.
Kite Man, Bane,
Kite Man
There's
is
so many
is
ridiculous
hilarious.
characters.
I've heard the
No,
Bane voice.
Even even the Joker's like just trying to call. He just calls out like just the wealthy Bruce Wayne. He's like, "Where's my electric car, Bruce?" Like it's silly. It's silly, but like in the right ways. Like
yeah,
it's good.
it might be strange.
Yeah.
Because
Hugo Strange.
even though even though she's a voice actress, I don't know if they'll use her in a movie. So that's probably where they'll say, okay, well, we need to get an actress that could do everything.
Oh man, speaking of actress who can do everything. People are trying to like get Batista back in to do something here, and they're like, "Oh,
He wanted to be Bane.
yeah, he wanted to be Bane, but
And
now
they said,
he's
like, you're too old,
it's
son.
Sunset." So you know who he could be, and I saw this as fan casting, and I thought, dude, it's great. Just give him a bigger beard, give him some round glasses. He's Professor Hugo Strange. Done.
Sure, why not?
Done. I did it. The
I
internet
just
did
don't.
it.
What? Why can't Bane be in his like 40s or how old is Batista? 50?
Yeah, imagine trying to lift up Batman to break his back, and he breaks his back.
But
he
that's
pulls
not
his
gonna
back.
happen.
Guys,
they have wires, dude.
wires.
Yeah, it's not gonna
Kidding.
happen. And the thing is, Batista can probably do it anyway by himself.
Yeah, but
He can lift a dirty old
how
Batman.
much Venom is Venom?
Venom.
Too much.
Because I
Venom.
could see Batista kind of, but again, like in the comic books or in the games, Bane is
He's massive.
5 times the size of a man.
Right.
And he's also super smart.
yeah.
Yeah.
Point. Okay, forget
then
But
Bane.
how
you
old
have
is
Tom
he?
Hardy.
Usually
You
when
have
he's
Tom Hardy,
portrayed in the
so,
comics, how old is he?
Yeah, forget Bane. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe the range is always like people are in their 30s. It's like only Deathstroke who's like maybe he's like his late 40s.
62.
Early.
Manganiello. Get him back.
He should still be Deathstroke.
Get him back. They should show him.
Or he's Lobo.
They should show him
Or they make him
training Damian Wayne.
That would be fun. Yeah, they contract Deathstroke to train Damian Wayne. Lastly, I hope is that in this Brave and the Bold, or at least in some other one of these like fun side properties or shows, they need to bring the ultimate villain from Young Justice in live action. And if they do ever do this, they bring this man in live action, I will lose my crap.
The ultimate villain.
The ultimate
Who's
villain.
the ultimate villain?
Anthony knows who I'm talking about. He is the
The
master
master
of
of
sports. Sports master.
You
They
can't mess with him.
He's just this dude.
He
this
pulls out clubs out of nowhere and he'll
He's
just like
this
whoop
ja-
you.
No, he's just this jack dude with a hockey mask, and he just beats your ass with Olympic equipment. He's just like, oh, is this a shot put? Eat this shot put in the face, like javelin. Haha, I'm gonna
And
stab
then
you
he'll
with a
just pull
javelin.
out a baseball bat and start like
He's
throwing baseballs at you.
literally the master of sports. The master of sports. Maybe he can even be the master of esports too, and then give you a virus in your computer. He's literally the master of sports. No, Danny
What
pulled up
was
this
that?
really awful.
Is that
He was in
cosplay?
Stargirl.
Yeah, I know,
The
and it's
live
bad.
action
Yes, the
Stargirl?
Stargirl show. We have
And
to.
that's his costume?
And it's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
No.
And with tigers. Yeah. It's basically, that also ties into Elseworlds. Your
Go
boy
watch Young
Joel McHale's
Justice.
in it. Yeah, just watch Young Justice. Seasons 1 and 2 at least. I'm behind on that. I need to get on it. But yeah, the master of sports. You guys don't understand. Like, who was it? There's a point where like Ms. Martian is straight up invisible and he's just like, no, shot put. Like, and he just like wrecks her because he's the master of sports. He has keen perception.
And invisibility, I guess.
keen perception, because you need that. Imagine if he just played any professional
He
sport.
needs crazy reaction time. That's what he needs.
Would he be the best basketball player?
Yeah, because he's the sports master.
He's the master of sports. Individual sports, like
Is
what
that
if
how
he just
funds his
what if he just played golf? And yes,
Super
that's how he
skills?
funds his super
Dude,
villain.
he
read.
just joined the Olympics. He's good.
Yeah,
Won all the gold medals.
and most of these villains, if they're not super powered, they're already Olympic level athletes anyway, which will be fun to see in live action and be fun to explain in live action.
In the universe, when anybody eats like Wheaties, he should be on the cover of the Wheaties.
They should just be like, yeah, like he doesn't get royalties because he's like a criminal, but don't you want to be like the master of sports? He's literally the master of sports. Like you
All
can't
of
put
them.
LeBron James dunking. No, it's sports master hitting like, a cricket bat or doing something with Olympic archery. Like don't mess with sports master. He will get you with the most random, like with like a curling stone and you're dead because he's the master of sports. Sportsmaster segue. Anyway, tying it all back with a nice big ribbon and bow. Overall, we can all say that collectively we're cautiously optimistic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very accurate word.
Hope
Yeah.
they
Words.
stick to their plan and see how it goes.
I think the ultimate telling of like what will be ultimately telling us that like what the kind of tone for each of these projects are going to be, at least the movie wise, and maybe in the shows too, is who they get to do the music. Because we over the years, these characters have iconic pieces of music. Like that's why even with this like failed post credits scene of Black Adam, you still use the John Williams theme. I mean, will they continue to use the John Williams theme in Superman Legacy, or
What if they hire him to do a new Superman thing?
no?
He's retired.
Is he?
Well, I think I read somewhere that Indiana Jones 5 is like his last like major film. He's
Movie?
gonna focus on writing his own stuff like for concert rather than for film or
I'm
TV.
cool with that.
Okay, I'll go see him in
I
concert.
mean, maybe he might
Yeah.
do small stuff here and there just to kind of like make a few extra bucks, something to pay off his mortgage or something.
Until
What? This man is the most nominated man in living history.
Until Spielberg
the
knocks on his
Oscars.
door. Hey, can you do the music for this, please?
Can you-
Sure, why not?
Can you do the music for this Secret Wars Kang Dynasty movie? That won't happen.
He wouldn't do that.
No, he wouldn't sully himself.
And-
Anyway,
and I don't think that Hans Zimmer will come back.
no.
Why not?
Because I know at one point he said he was done with superhero movies, but then he came back for a few more. But I don't know.
Which ones? Oh yeah. I remember that. Yeah, never mind.
I think it was before Justice League or before Batman v Superman. He said something like he was going to step away from superhero movies and do other stuff. But then Snyder got him again
Yeah, or
and brought
other
him on
people.
board for those.
Yeah, or Patty. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Or Patty Jenkins. Yeah, got him back because
Yeah.
he did the Wonder Woman stuff.
Man, so he did music for the 3.
He has done music for the big 3.
Mhm.
Yes, for the
Nice.
DC
Holy
Trinity.
Trinity.
That's
That's a feat.
a man.
That is a feat.
They're all
indeed.
recognizable too.
What if they end up getting Ludwig?
Oof.
Sure, why not?
That man's gonna be out here collecting.
He's the hot one right now.
He just needs an
Or-
Emmy. He
Or you
needs
got
an Emmy, right?
Giacchino.
He's so hot right
No,
now.
he
You
has a-
can't- Giacchino's already doing
no,
the
no.
Batman.
No, he has an
So-
Emmy.
Brian Tyler.
He's gonna
Brian
do
Tyler.
the
He's
second Batman.
He's already.
Could you imagine if he
Junkie
does
XL.
the new Batman?
Yeah.
Why
Who-
not?
Thomas-
he
Tom
needs a
Hulkenberg?
Tony.
Tom Hulkenberg.
Hulkenberg, yeah. Yeah, I was just like Ludwig only needs a Tony and he has an EGOT. I forgot. He has an Emmy.
Already?
Yeah,
He has a Tony?
he needs a Tony.
Oh.
He has an Emmy, Grammy, and Oscar. Anyway, tying it all in, yeah, guys, this is exciting. Like we just got the news today as we recorded this, and shout out to Danny for creating the outline and the formula.
The formula.
You could,
Back to form.
that DC is going back to formula. I think it's it's if you're tuning in, thank you so much for listening to our fun little discussion and our takes on the big things that are going on. You could watch just James Gunn's whole
5-minute
video of it, but I think from people who do and don't know some of the comics or familiar with this stuff over the years, it's really, we appreciate you being able to listening in and kind of having our fun opinions on it. And maybe if you agree or disagree, we'll put some stuff out there as this episode drops. We'll have that social media engagement. So anywhere you catch us on social media, Popcorn Watchlist. Obviously, you find us where and your podcast platform of choice. But reach out to us. We love the interaction. We love the debate. We love the camaraderie over the excitement of our favorites that are going on right now. So we eagerly await what you all have to say and your opinions on a lot of this going on. So with that, we nicely wrap it up, and we will go up, up, and away. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Later, guys.
See ya.
I'm Batman.